Pakistan station of liar from yes. Hey. You know Pakistan, you know Cinnamon. You know a young general represent favor the son. Now the son boy.
Unionmedia. Yeah, represent E.
Union, up and run, keep it.
Betty B.
Say cool baby there.
Subscribe to Union Media TV.
Unionmedia.
Unionmedia TV.
The Junior says so. Yeah, 222 stadium.
Big up yourself, you don't know the thing go.
One blood. Marty.
Different.
Run.
Proper. Bang it.
Saxman Jerry. Yeah.
Oh.
Yo, bless. This is Saxman Jerry Johnson here chilling, and you're attuned to Union Media TV. So enjoy the vibe, y'all. Enough respect.
Look at time I was in Switzerland with Pulse, playing some fest. Switzerland, and there was a whole bunch of different bandstands. So we was on a big bus, and the bus pulled up, and we were there chilling. Fucking white stretched limousine with California plates full of. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, California plates, man. We in Switzerland. James Brown got out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sugar hill, yo.
Godfather.
That's when they had the homie, man. I was, yo. He got out of school, he looked around, you know. Straight up. He went on after us.
Okay.
Man, they tore that show up, man.
I believe you, man.
The way he works that mic, and that mic's kind of kicking it. And catch it and drop. Pow! He hit a whole bang of cow. Oh, yeah. Yo, that boy is dangerous, man.
Yes, people, greetings. You don't know, once again, it's our next edition of the Reason We Are Reason with yours truly, Vaughn Allstar. Today's special guest is the saxman himself out of New York City, Jerry Johnson. I've been looking forward to doing this interview because this brother has been playing in New York City with different bands for years and played on so many sessions. And yeah, so we have a very interesting reasoning for the item. So Jerry, greetings. What's going on,
How you
bro?
doing, bud? Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Oh, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you.
It's an honor, a pleasure to be here, hanging with my brethren.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. So Jerry, tell me a little bit about the beginnings. Like, what inspired you to become a sax player?
Well, I guess, you know, the first time you see musicians with a live instrument, so I was about 5 years old, and my dad took me to the local barbershop, right? So, get your hair cut, you know, came out cool. I was kind of, you know, first time and stuff. But after these guys would break out their instruments, they were musicians. The sax player, his name was Coogee. Trumpet player was Lester Minot. And they had a guitar player. I'm not familiar with his name. So they be well and they be doing their thing. So that was the first time I really like, you know. And I was like, wow, Coogee can play this wicked sax, you know. And I, you know, throughout the years, I would always hear him playing block parties and stuff like that. And not really realizing my father had like a Jamaican nightclub from the 60s. You know, I grew into it, you know.
Okay.
And Coogee and Mr. Minot and all them would be playing, and different bands would be playing. So I just had it in me. I wanted to play sax because Coogee sounded so nice on the saxophone, you know, that was it. And seeing a lot of other, as I grew up, seeing a lot of, you know, but really listening to Coogee play, that was it. So as I got older, I was determined to play in the school band.
Okay.
So I took the test for the school band. They said, nah, nothing happening right now, bro.
They said you wasn't ready?
Nah, you Sorry, you know.
But you didn't give up though, right?
No, my dad sent me to, my mom and dad sent me for private lessons, right?
Okay.
So I took private lessons for 2 years. And then my last year, this is in junior high school, my last year, I would go and play with the band. But I wasn't in a band program. I wasn't in a music program. So when the band was rehearsing, I don't advise this. I would just cut my class, whatever class I had there, I just go down and play. And I did that for a whole year, you know? So that's what was going on. But, you know, growing up, realizing my father has a nightclub. And when I was about 7, it started for me going up there. You know, I have on my Sunday suit, sitting down and the band's playing and they like blazing, you know, big horn section. I remember Blues Busters, they had a big horn section, you know. So I used to love that. And Hugh Hendrix, Buccaneers, they had a big horn section. That's where I met Lester Sterling.
Okay, so
Satellites, yeah.
Okay, so you got to take in the Buccaneers, and yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, Hugh Hendrix and my father, they were good friends.
True,
you know?
true.
And so was Lester Sterling.
Okay.
So I met a lot of bands, you know, and I saw a lot of shows up there. Phyllis Dillon. Bunny Ruggs was with a band called Wild Bunch.
Yes.
Wild Bunch was
Okay, so you took in Money Rose with the Wild Bunch.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, Moody's. Moody's was playing with a band called Stepping Stone.
Yes. So Moody's used to play in that band, and Glenn Washington also was in that same band too.
Yeah, I don't remember Glenn. I remember Todd used to play drums.
Okay.
Stepping Stone.
Glenn started playing after Todd left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you took in Father Moody live in your father's club too.
Yeah, I used to take him. I was really young, you know.
Okay.
And then I took in the Black Eagles, Delroy Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan Heritage Dad. And I would check them out. And eventually I joined that group, you know.
Okay, so you were part of the Black Eagles.
Yeah, I was in the Black Eagles for a couple
how
of years.
long?
A couple of years it lasted, you know.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because actually my first recording section in the studio, Denroy took me.
Okay.
Took me to my first recording session. You know, the first time you go in there, you don't know what's going on, and you know, and they just say, when the point, just play, and everybody play together, you know. So yeah, that was real cool, you know. That was my first session.
The session was one of Denroy's sessions?
Yeah, Black Eagles song. I come from Jamaica. That was the name of it. I think it was.
I know that tune.
Columbia House.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that tune.
Yeah, it was a good experience, and it was a nice big thick studio. You know, it wasn't really. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, they're writing no nama.
Yeah.
Big set, big long time. You know?
Yeah.
All right, so after that, no, you got to take in a lot of people at your father's club. You know, you even ended up playing in Black Eagles. So Black Eagles was like the first band that you played in New York City, or you were playing in anything else before that?
Well, you know, like in school, I was playing my funk groups and stuff like that. You know, and before Denver, I was playing in a West Indian group. It was like calypso and R&B and slow jams. You know, but it was cool, you know. I used to see some good sax players come up there. This sax player, I don't know his name. He was with a group called the Mason Brothers. He's a bad sax player. You know, some nice sax players used to pass through. And then, you know, there was like one guy in the band. I don't know, I was a little kid. He didn't like me, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why, you know. It is what it is. But everybody else, you know, supported me as a little kid coming up, you know. And after that, that's when I went to Black Eagles, 2 years with them. And then after I left the Black Eagles, I wasn't really doing anything. I was just playing R&B bands, you know, my little friends around town. So my father, he called his friend Crackers. You know Crackers?
Crackers, yeah.
Yeah, he called Crackers and said, yo, I'm going to send my boy down there, Wab, you can, you know? And Crackers said, yeah, come in, you know? So I went. That's when I joined Reckless Breed.
Okay.
Yeah. So Crackers put me on the Reckless Breed. He was a singer. And it took things to a different level, you know? Because that band was, they was back in like Burning Spear, Diamonds, Heptones, you know, a lot of big recording, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I was meeting these, you know, these groups that I never really knew before, but I knew the records because of a sound selector on my block, right?
Okay.
His name was Noel Paulo. They call him Spoon. He had a little sound system, high fashion. You know, I don't know, you know, they moved around the block, Jamaican brethren, you know?
Yeah.
And they just took to me, you know? They was like,
Okay.
yo. So Noel was like, yo, check this music out, giving me dub plates and Sugar Minot and Big Ute and all. So I'm bringing it home and playing it. My father's like, what's going on here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like turning it up. So when I got with Reckless Breed, then it was all coming together. I was like, oh, that's this, you know, those tones, the half tones. Yeah, that's what Noel, you know?
Yeah.
So got with them. And, you know, I met a lot of recording artists, and it was really cool, you know? Yeah, they took good care of me. That's when I linked up with Wackies, because they was Wackies house band.
Yeah, so that's how you ended up going to Wackies to Reckless Breed.
So I was up at Wackies, and now I'm learning how to record my horns, like, because you know when you record, you put layers of horns on, you know.
Double it up.
Yeah, double, triple it up, and all your harmonies and stuff. So I was going through a learning process, you know. So that worked out for me. I did a couple of vinyls up there, and Reckless Breed, New Breed, they migrated to Florida, you know. So after I did all those years with them, I was just chilling, you know. I was doing my little 9 to 5 and thing. And that's when Basie and them rolled into town from, I think they was up in Boston.
Yeah, they were in Boston.
Yeah. Basie and them rolled into town. And then A-Team got formed. And Kevin came to town with Basie and them, the trumpet player. So me and Kevin was like the horn section for New York for a while, you know. So we was getting a lot of gigs. And that's when we headed out to Philip Smart. So then we was out of Philip. We was the house horn section for Philip. So that, you know, a lot of work was going on there and stuff, you know. And just kept it moving, you know.
Speaking of Philip Smart, there's a horn section to the Sammy Levi Come Off of the Road with you and Kevin. I love playing that. I love playing it.
Yeah.
Because it's like that rhythm is so tough, but hearing you guys doing solos on it, it like changed the whole look of the rhythm, you know?
Yeah. Philip, I used to love that studio. Was out there in Long Island. You know, he treated us well. And it was a nice vibe out there. A-Team, all the bands, you know, Brooklyn bands, you know, would go out there and do their thing. It was real cool. Like I miss Philip, you know.
Yeah, everybody miss Philip, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was such a cool person to work with, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how that took place, you know.
So after, like, as time started continuing on, like, you ended up playing with Steele Pulse for 16 years. So tell me how that all came about.
Oh, we was gigging, I think in Florida. David came to a gig, and he was talking to Sydney, and Sydney went and joined the band, you know. So the New York band, we opened up a lot of shows for Steele Pulse throughout the years, you know. So he already heard me and Kevin playing already. So I guess at some point they was ready for horns, so they kind of knew us already. Mm-hmm. So they pulled us in. So I did from 1990 to 2000 with them, you know. And then my son got sick. You know, so I came off the road. Came off the road for like 10 years and dealt with that situation, you know?
Yeah.
And it was a tough fight, you know?
Yeah.
So then he passed away. He didn't make it, you know?
Wow, sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah. And so after that, I was just chilling, and then Sydney called me, and he was like, "Yo, you know, come back on the road for a minute." So I went back out. It was supposed to be like just a short tour, but I ended up staying for like 6-7 years. You know?
Okay.
That was the last run. Yeah.
True. Well, you definitely are one of the, I would say, the all-star saxmen out of New York. You know, you played on a lot of important tunes, Reggie. Like, there's so much tunes. Like, not to backtrack, but there's some serious Wackies tunes that you played on. Like, you could just hear you, and it's like, ever since I've actually got to know you, I can identify your sound now.
Oh, yeah.
So once I hear you, I have to say, yeah, like when I first came to UMG and I heard Fingers playing the tunes that came out, and I was listening to like the rhythms, and as soon as I heard the horn section, I was like, okay, now Jerry that, right?
Yeah. You know, you have like a signature, you know,
Yeah.
that I developed throughout the years. That's just my style, you know what I mean?
True.
But I think every musician has their own flavor, you know. But ain't no superstar thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just
Definitely super.
No, that's superstar thing.
nah.
You just humble about it, Reggie, which is good. You know, let us talk about you, and you know everything good. You can't stay humble, but let me big you up, you know?
This is New York, yo. There's a lot of, you know, talented horn players out there. I just try and do mine and
That's true.
make it sound proper, you know?
True.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the other musicians you played it. Like you worked with the great Jackie Batu. Tell me about Jackie, and let other people out there know about Jackie Batu.
Jackie, a lot of jokes, you know, never a dull moment. He was a happy-go-lucky guy, you know what I mean? He had a lot of love for me, you know?
Yeah.
I guess he knew that I knew, you know, the music that he, you know, him and Scatterlights created, you know what I mean? Usually when you're playing, and they're like, you know, because you're like giving them some of their own stuff back, you know, that tells them like, yo, you've been studying, you know?
Yeah, you're a good student.
Yeah. That was the vibe with Roland as well. Playing at Coxon Studio in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He was there. And we was talking and stuff, but you know, I didn't really like, oh, how do you? I was just cool, and then we went to check the mics, and I could see him in the booth, you know, and I started playing one of his solos, one of his songs, you know, and I could see him say, yeah, you know, and that's the sound he used to make. And after that, we became really cool, you know, good friend. I'd go to his house, and you know, he would tutor me and stuff like that. You know, I'd be there making all that noise. One time I was there, like, made a whole lot of noise. I see Noel come out of the back, clean out his eyes, like, because he was like just sleeping. I woke him up, and he didn't even know I was coming to check his pops, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, Roland was yeah, he was cool. He tutored me. He was my mentor as well. And I loved working with Cedric Brooks.
Okay.
You know, he was a humble, you know, lots of times he put me on the spot. He didn't even know it. Playing with Cedric, I wanted to solo first, you know? I don't want to solo after him because after he's done, you know, it's like, it's done. You know? And a couple times after he tore it up, he's like, all right, go ahead, Jerry, go ahead. And I'd be like, nah. He's like, go on. Go on. So, you know, I would go on and put in mine, you know what I mean? But yeah, he was real humble. He was a good teacher as well. And Lester Sterling, he had so much knowledge and so much stories to tell you and give you, and he don't forget dates and songs and nothing, you know? So you could sit there, he might not give you the notes and all, but he'll give you some stories that should be in a book.
Yeah,
you know? You know, he'll tell you, he remembers, he told me, he says, yes, Jerry, I remember when you was like 15 years old at your dad's club, and he told me, I'm going to play the saxophone. Wow, yeah.
He remembered that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was me, yeah.
Did you remember that moment? Or
Yeah, I remember it.
it must have felt good that he remembered.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, well, I've always enjoyed doing the vintage shows, you know, with all the elders and stuff like that. That was always a blessing to me, you know what I mean?
Well, you mentioned Mr. Dodd. I was very unaware that you worked at Mr. Dodd. So, like, how many times have you been over there working with Sir D?
Not many times. When I was there, I did a couple sessions with him, but he took to me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he saw where I was coming from, and that's when we did a album for Nitty Gritty back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, at Mr. Dodd's studio.
For real?
Yeah. And you know, when I get around the vintage musicians and engineers, you know, it's just by nature. I just love to play the old songs, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what really grabs their attention, like, yeah, this guy's studying the real deal, you know?
Yeah, it must make them feel good because you play in their compositions.
Yeah. And then they don't really know me, you know? So from right off, they don't even think I know reggae, you know what I mean? Because they don't know my father's Jamaican, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just foreign youth coming here, what's going on, you know? And then he just start blowing out all these Coxsone Studio 1 tunes and all of that. So, yeah, Mr. Dodd, he was like, yeah, anytime, come check me anytime, you know. So, yeah, that was a good vibe, you know.
And you also are very good friends with Sugar Minor. So tell us about your relationship with Sugar.
Yeah, you know, like being a musician, backing musician, you meet so many artists, you know, who's, you know, up there famous and not, you know, whatever. And it's like sometimes you just do the show and never see them again. Or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess because me and him, we locked in a lot up at Wacky. So, you know, when you're in the studio and you're just there all day, every day, morning, noon, and night, you know, you really become close and good friends.
True.
And stuff. So I could say some of those artists will push you. They pushed me. They was like, yo, you need to, you know, get a tape and go on and fill up the tape and, you know, start drop some music and stuff like that. Sister Carol told me that too a long time. She don't remember, she told me. She said, yo, man, you need to like buy a tape and, you know, go on, fill it up and start drop some tunes.
Do some work.
Yeah. So Sugar took a personal interest in me. We toured for years. My first time visiting Jamaica, I didn't go down as no, like I had a gig or nothing like that, you know? I just, like, yo, Sugar, what's up? He was like, you that Jerry? Like, yo, what's up? You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I went down there. Well, actually, the night I got there, he wasn't there. Like everybody, Junior Reed and Little John, everybody was in the backyard. You know, they said that Sugar went to do a session. So when he came back, I was there. It was late too. I was in the backyard playing my horn, you know, and he came. And I was like, yo, what's up? And he said, yo, what's up? I was like, yo, I'm just here for a couple of weeks, you know? So I'm like, cool. When I got down there, I didn't want to come back home, you know? You know, he treated me like his little brother. Trust me, took me all around. That's why he took me down to Channel 1 studio, and there was somebody there singing and wailing. Big, thick voice, you know? Big glasses, and it was Frankie.
Frankie Paul.
I didn't know who he was. I didn't know that was Frankie till after, like, I toured with him back in the 80s, you know? Yeah. And, I mean, Sugar just took me all up around, and then we just cut dub plates all day. I thought that was the best time I had in my life. I didn't want to come back home, you know?
True.
And we were just always doing gigs with him. You know, I was with Basie and them in A-Team. So we was his back-end band. But sometimes, you know, he would just take me and Kevin and go wherever. And then we linked up with his band in Jamaica, Abashanti. And we was doing a lot of gigs up and down. But Sugar, yeah, he pushed me out there. He kept telling me, you know, do your own stuff. And then we kind of like, when I linked up with Steele Pulse, I was touring. So me, you know, the communication kind of, you know?
Yeah.
And then he called me one day because he was down by Teo's studio.
Oh, the Ghetto Roots.
Yeah. He said, yo, Jerry Johnson, wow, I need some horns. Call me. Call him. And then he called me back and said, yo, I mean, wow, call me. So I called him. He said, yo, I need some horns on the tune. I was like, yo, You know, don't say it twice. I'll be there next hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I went down there, did the tunes, and then you know he's always like pushing you, and you know. So he said, "Yo, you know, Jerry, if I was you, I'd just look over everybody's tune. John Hope, Dennis Brown, Alton Ellis. I just look over everybody's tune." And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't want to get sued, sugar." He said, "No, okay." He said, "All right, tell you what." He said, "Do all my tunes." You know? I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, man, just look all my tunes. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna drop my voice on it, take a picture, drop it. Be nice."
Okay, so that's how that project came about.
Yeah. I was like, all right, you know, sometimes you tell a man something and then he leave, but you don't really, you know? So I did it. I went up to Connecticut, got the rhythm. My friend Cousy Mellors and his brother from the Anthem Band dropped the rhythms. Noah put drums on. Earl Appleton put on keyboard solos for me. It was cool. It came out real nice, you know?
Yeah.
So I had like all the music done, all the horns and everything. So now I just need Sugar to come drop on this part. So he came to town and said, "Sugar, music's ready." And he's like, "Yeah, which music? What are you talking about?" So I said, "Yo, see the music?" He's like, "Oh, all right." So I was like, "Yo, meet me down by Basie and start putting on your part." He said, "Yeah, okay." So he didn't show up. I was down there by Basie waiting. I was like, "Man, where's he at?" You know, and then I called him and he said, "Oh, yo, I got a show in Canada. I didn't even know. I'm running back and forth, so can't make it," you know. I was like, "All right, cool." So I just put the project, because I could have put it out like that, you know.
Yeah.
I said, I want his voice on it. I want it, you know, the
Yeah, man.
Sugar. So I put it on the shelf, and he came back the following year. I think it was about a year and change. I just cornered him. I said, "Yo, I got it. What's up?" So he says, all right. He said, he played it for him. He said, "Boy, I love it, you know." You know, he really gave me a compliment. He said, "Boy, Jerry, I got my horn playing in Jamaica, but trust me, you're hard." I was like, wow. Thanks, man. Because I picked on some nice tunes, you know, some of his tunes and stuff. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So the first two songs, we went up to Philip Smart, and we did two. And that's kind of far, though, you know, out Long Island. But I didn't know he was hanging out at Taylor's studio all the time. So he said, yo, just come meet me in Brooklyn, man. And, you know, we started doing it. So I said, all right, cool. So at Taylor's studio, and there's like 100 people there getting dub plate from Sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Busy. And I'm there, I'm waiting patiently. And Sugar had so much energy, you know, because now it's 4:45 in the morning. And he's like, all right, put on Jerry's hard drive. And they like, yo, Sugar, we're done, you know, nothing can go on tonight. Just everybody's tired, mashed up. And he's the first one in, the last one to leave, you know?
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, Jerry, just tell you what you do. Just leave the hard drive. And in the morning, when I come in, everybody's fresh, I'm going to start hitting it. So that's how, you know, he hit it. Now come in the evening, and it sounded great. I was like, yeah. So then he said, all right, finished it, and he gave it back to me. He said, go on and, you know. So I was like, cool. But then my son relapsed, you know. My son was alive then, he relapsed. So she was calling me, yo, what's up? You got it? I was like, nah, man, you know, issues. And he was like, all right, just go and deal with that, you know. Yeah. So then my son dropped out. So he called me, and I was like, Sugar, nothing going on right now. He's like, all right, you know, when you're ready, you're ready, you know. So after did all of that, you know, grieved and went back in the studio, and that's when I started putting it back together. That's when Noel's like, follow me, man, and we get it done, you know. So got it all done. Went to Don Juan, and they mixed it for me, Bill. Product's ready now, you know. I said, yeah. So I said, I'm gonna call Sugar Tuesday, let him know, you know, let him hear the. And I got a call like the day before, and they said Sugar passed away the night before. Word? Wow. Yeah, so he never saw the finished product, you know. So that I lost my son and I lost my good friend. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of rough. That was kind of rough. Yeah.
so that's how that went. You know what I'm saying?
Great one still. Sugar always will be respected.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I know about Sugar, Sugar always support the youths then. And other musicians that he see that's trying, he respects someone who's putting in the effort to try to get something done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jano, bless up him soul in Isaiah.
Yeah. That was my bridging.
True.
And I mean, there's so much other things that was going on, but
You brought me right into basically talking about your own personal productions now. So how many projects have you said you've done since you started doing your own product?
I have approximately that I own about 12 CDs.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good because you have what 12 tracks on each CD or something like that?
12, 15, 16. Yeah,
that's a whole heap of catalog right there somewhere.
Yeah, that was my goal, to get a catalog, not just a CD, but get a nice catalog together,
Yeah.
When I left Steele Pulse and I was dealing with my son's illness, musically I didn't really have anything going on, So I would just go into the studio and record. But, it's one thing just to record, but it's nothing to record and release, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you just recording and it's just there on the shelf.
That's true.
So I wanted to make sure that everything I record, I release. Even though it's good to have some put away just in case, But that's when it just kept adding up, and then before I realized, I became more comfortable and became more easy. But I had people helping me, mixing and stuff like that. So that's how I got to 12, Yeah, but I get a lot of good feedback, but it ain't making me rich. You know, limousine outside. It's not like that. I'm here. I ain't gonna lie, I'm here struggling and trying to make it happen. You know what I mean?
It's all good, Jerry. Let me tell you something, Jerry. It's one thing that I could say about musicians. It's something about it that the talented ones, the real people who put in the real serious work, never actually get rich out of it. That's what I'm coming to realize.
Yeah.
But the comfort that we get is basically doing the work, listening back to the results afterwards, and that's really where I could see the comfort come from, with people who really, really love what they do.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good musicians out there.
Yeah.
That they're just not getting what they do. You know what I mean?
So true.
And they just keep on. DJs, selectors as well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we all should be really nice.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm one of the people who can testify to that. I'm not gonna get rich out of this. I see it already. But it satisfies my soul to actually be fulfilling my dream.
It's hard work, yo.
Yeah.
When people come and see you, they don't know what you've been through just to get up there.
No, they don't.
Dance done. They got 100 boxes to pack in the truck now. That's the DJ side,
Yeah.
Show's over. I got like a 12-hour flight, and the plane leaves in the next 2 hours. You know what I mean?
You don't even get a chance to close your eyes, bro.
Sleeping on the bench in the airport is like the behind the scenes is not, but the show's nice, and
Definitely, show's always nice.
But and the thing about it is, I still think we're not getting what we deserve,
True.
But we still keep on doing it,
Definitely.
I mean, I've had friends who quit their job for a week to do a show on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's how dedicated and how hard they're pushing to try and get over the hump, And man, it's rough, Sometimes you can't hold a job. That's why sometimes people just do the band thing and did this hustle on the side, you know?
Yeah.
It's not that they wanna, but it's like,
It's just they're just doing it to make sure they're available for when the time comes.
yeah, you don't want to miss your call.
Exactly. I understand totally, bro. Trust me, I've been there. I've thrown away like at least some good jobs.
Yeah.
There's one in particular that my mom's will never forgive me for.
They don't understand. They're like, yo, are you crazy? Did you realize what you just did?
Yeah.
You know? And you're just out there chasing the dream and struggling and trying to make it, you know? You're like, I know I can make it, you know? But it'd be three of you all, and he made it, you didn't, you know?
Yeah.
Like, wow. But I don't know. Sometimes, you know, people just say enough's enough, you know, but a lot of time people say, I'm going to fight this out till the end, yo.
Exactly.
So it is what it is, you know.
Exactly, bro. Because at this point, I made my mind up. It's all or nothing.
Frustration sets in, though, because we're all human, you know.
Yeah,
Sometimes
definitely.
you're like, really? You know? But, yeah. So, you know, I just hang in there, keep on doing what I do.
True. Well, definitely up until this day, you're definitely working because I'm hearing your signature on many different tunes. Like right now, Tilly Bop have a tune out there that's getting a lot of play, and I hear you on it. You can't miss it.
I'm getting my sessions. I'm doing me, and in the meantime, I'm always working on my projects as well.
True.
Keeping that, keeping focus on both sides, but you know, I don't want to fade out. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Try to keep busy. Now that I have a music lab for the last couple of years, I have a music lab. Makes things a lot easier, but I'm not content with just recording in my house because I still go to other studios and
Most definitely.
Get a different vibe. So
True.
yeah, it's all good, you know. And then, you know, the support I'm getting from DJs, you as well, and Bobby and Jeff, and all the DJs online and stuff that are helping me out, you know what I mean? Because I'm an instrumentalist. I mean, I sing, right? But I'm a saxophone player, you know. I like to play vintage tunes, but the average ear may not identify the tune, right? So when they start hearing the singing, they'll start singing along, and then the sax will come in. Then they can sing with the sax, you know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard for me to get. I'm trying to be a different version, like, you know, when a man in the dance playing. But I don't get to play because, first of all, I'm not on vinyl.
Yeah.
And I didn't record it 30 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it is what it is, you know. But the selectors like it, you know. I'll get the airplay on the radio.
Definitely.
And you know, on the internet stations and stuff like that. But right now, I don't really get any plays in parties. Once in a while, but you know, right now, because the sessions I like to go to are vinyl sessions. You know,
That's true. That's true.
yeah. So I don't take it negatively, but that's what it is.
Well, that depends, you know, because I play some of your stuff in sessions, you know.
Yeah.
I play some of them just because I'm really one of those who don't care. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so I work with it, you know. I don't play by rules or, you know, play it safe, as they say. You know, I like to take chances.
No. One time I came to your show. That was, oh man, I had a really nice time because you let me select all my tunes, right?
Yeah.
And I was just dropping all the vintage tunes and all of that. And people was loving it. Moody told me people came in there and was like, you know, talking about it, you know, because I was, you let me play for like about an hour.
Yeah.
Dropping. You know, I never really had that much, you know? Yeah, so I really enjoyed that session, you know?
Me too, and a lot of people enjoyed it too.
Yeah, a lot of people was calling up and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think if they hear it, if I get exposure, they hear it, they'll love it, you know what I mean?
And plus, you know, the way you actually do your tunes, Jerry, are very interesting because people actually have asked me. There's like other producers that I know from across the waters, said, Vaughn, I hear you playing Jerry Johnson stuff, but who's that singing? I said, that's him. They said, wow, you really have an interesting voice for a sax player. I meant to tell him that, from time to time, that he has a very good voice. He should sing, a little bit more on some of those albums,
Yeah, well, singing, it I sang background for Sugar Minor and Steele Pulse back in the day, and different artists come to town. And if musicians can sing to help them, they appreciate it. So I've done a lot of background singing, but it was never really my goal to be like a lead singer. And I don't even see myself going on stage and I'm kind of shy like that, I just play and stuff. But I could help myself. I'll play it, and I'll sing it, the parts and stuff, and put on the harmonies and stuff like that. But my main goal is to get to the sax part,
True, true.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, I want to ask you. There's someone who you played with for years. I have a lot of respect for him also as a fellow New York City musician, which is Kevin Batchelor. You guys have something in common. You guys play the instrument, and you also can sing too. So tell me a little bit about and tell the world about Kevin Batchelor, for who don't know.
Yeah, Kevin came on the scene with Basie and them. After my band went to Florida, Kevin came, and me and him linked up, and we just became the horn section. He knew a lot, all the Studio One songs and everything, and we was just the section. We was playing in all different bands and stuff like that. They needed horns, yeah, we do it. We play here, there, and all. You know what I'm saying? And we just stayed together for years and years and years and years. So that's how Steele Pulse heard us, and we got into Steele Pulse. But I guess the energy, and he was a good singer as well. He can go out front and sing. He ain't got no problem with the mic. Yo, let's go. But as for me, I lay back and just chill, But yeah, he's still doing his thing. He's out there. He got a couple CDs out there as well, and he always, anytime I call him, he comes and helps me on my CDs. He lives far from me. Yeah, we're lifetime friends. You know what I mean?
True.
I think the first time I played with him was back in the '80s, and Sister Carol was on the show. That's when I met Sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I met Sister Carol back in the '80s. So yeah, we've been friends for a long, long time. Yeah, KB.
Okay. Question: the in-house band that Jalife used to record with. Have you ever done any work for Jalife?
Yeah, I was in the High Life Players.
You was in the High Life Players too also, right?
Me and Kevin.
I figured that for some
Yeah,
reason.
me and Kevin, we was High Life Players, and working with Sis and whoever on a lot of songs on his label.
You guys did a couple of Tonight shows, like a couple of popular late night shows. I don't know, I wouldn't say a few. Probably I know of one that you guys did with Sis one time on one of those late night shows.
Oh, yeah. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I can't remember whose show it was, but I remember seeing you guys on the stage as a kid. Yeah. No, that's the phone. We edited that out.
Yeah, I think it was live. I forgot. I remember David Sanborn was playing sax in the house stage. In the house band, and Marcus Miller was on bass. Yeah, I remember that. That was a long time.
You and Kevin were playing.
Yeah, that was me and Kevin. Yeah, we did that. We did Jay Leno together.
Yes, Jay Leno. That's exactly.
Yeah, and then we did Arsenio with Latifah.
Okay.
Kevin. Yeah. There was another one we did. I can't remember his name.
So you guys backed up Queen Latifah a couple of times?
Yeah. We backed her up and did some recordings with her as well.
Interesting. How was that?
Yeah, it was cool. She was, she has a nice vibe. It was, we had a nice.
It's
vibe.
interesting because I remember in the '90s when you guys were doing a Monday night show over at New Music Cafe. They're not there anymore.
Oh yeah.
Canal,
the corner,
Canal and Broadway.
Right.
She came through one night. That's actually how I got to meet her.
Oh, okay.
At the cafe.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember that too.
She came through and hung out. Yeah. she's real cool.
She is. She's
good
very
people,
cool.
you know.
Yeah, Jerry. So it was definitely good reasoning with you, man. Is there anything you need to notify the people about? Like any projects you have coming soon that you would like to let them know about beforehand?
Well, I'm always putting out music. You know, I just dropped one. Saxman Jerry, Mind, Body, and Soul.
True.
So I got Love Is Rock, Roots Music, some vintage tune studio one. You know, my style. I got some ska in there with Rankin Joe, and I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. You know, been feeling kind of up and down lately, but you know, that's just part of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how it is, man. Ups and downs in life, man. So, but today we happy, tomorrow we feel a little gloomy, you know?
Yeah. But everything will be all right.
Definitely, King.
Yeah.
Definitely. So Jerry, give thanks for passing through. Don't know, I was so glad to have you on Reason We Are Reason because you're one of those musicians that I look up to in New York. You know, I've been watching you guys play from when I was a kid. So it's definitely important for me to actually reason with you guys and learn your history, you know?
Yeah, thanks for having me, and it's all good. I'm gonna keep on keeping on, you know. Let everybody know what I'm doing, you know.
Exactly.
I'm just a struggling musician. There ain't no limousine outside. No limousine outside, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I got my car around the corner. Don't need no security.
Jerry, easy at all.
It is what it is, you know. I mean, I could get on here and say, you know, bad.
Nah.
You know, but I'd be lying to, you know.
It's all good,
It
bro.
is what it is. I just try and sound good, try and make it sound good. And, you know, keep it moving, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Be humble and, you know, trust in God, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, that's what's up.
True. So people, there you go. Another edition of Reason We Are Reason. Bless up to the whole family, UNMG. Make sure the item subscribe. You don't know, I'm press like. Yeah, Unionmedia TV. Subscribe and like. Big up to Kete. Father Fingers. Apache Sound. The whole family. You don't know the thing. Up and out. Bless and love people.
Yeah, respect. Saxman Jerry, checking out. Holla.